What's good, sports gamers? And we got our first big news release regarding NBA 2K20, and it's regarding MyGM, or should I say MyGM 2.0. So let's get into what to expect for us gamers this 2K season. Here's a quick overview of some of the new features contained in MyGM 2.0. Action points, score and leaderboards, skills featuring the skill tree and an updated leveling structure, completely new task system, revamped relationships, and sponsorships and branding. First thing is they added a brand new overview landing menu. Along with a new system of action points, or AP they refer to it as, they will now drive interactions in MyGM. So every day you're going to be making important decisions for the betterment of your franchise and ultimately turn them into a successful one. Are you the type of player that likes to make 100 trades to make your team better? Or are you about the relationships and like to talk with your team, staff, and other GMs? Or you want to play the games yourself? Now all of these core actions will now take an AP, so you're more mindful of the strategy you want to employ to build your team now. I like this as I'm the type of guy that likes to trade and do the people person stuff, so I'm glad both are available here. They're appealing to the different type of GMs, and I'm all for it. And it seems we won't feel like our path is wrong either. Different difficulties will offer different amounts of AP per day as well. You see here from the screenshot, you're able to chit chat with the head coach, assistant coach, and head scout. Now, how are they going to separate the new gamers from the beast of 2K MyGMers? Well, they'll do that with scores and leaderboards. When you start a new MyGM and take over a new franchise, like before, you're going to have to pick a difficulty, easy, medium, or hard. Now, the harder the difficulty, the longer the scoring period is and the fewer AP, action points, you will get per day. Majority of the actions you will do will fall under two categories. Things that help improve your team will earn you experience, and things that help show off your prowess as a GM will earn you a score. Winning games, making the playoffs, having a team full of award winners will help you earn points for your score. Showing off that, yeah, you're a great GM, your team is doing business and are successful. Now what's cool about what they did here is the score you receive from, let's say, Ben Simmons winning the MVP will be lower than if a player you yourself traded for, preventing people from running to the Lakers, Clippers, or Sixers and actually making the moves yourself count more. That's cool. So it encourages you to make the moves to end up with your perfect vision of a team. And now this is also global. You don't just want to get to the top of your own single player MyGM, but you want to do it with ruthless efficiency as you'll be battling with other GMers all over the globe in the brand new leaderboards. So you'll be able to see how you truly rank as a MyGM against people in the same difficulty level as you. So there's definitely some bragging rights there to be had. Or if you're not into all that, you can just filter the leaderboards down to you and just your friends. Also, having the team you're doing it with shown gives you that much more incentive to take the Bulls, Cavs, or Wizards all the way to the top as well. Depending on the level you set it at, you will be given a certain amount of years to improve on your score before your time is up for leaderboard progress. It's 5 years on easy, 10 for medium, and 15 for hard. Beyond that, we'll be able to play the full 80 years of standard GM mode still, but only the initial portion will count on the leaderboards. So you basically have to hit the ground running and trade LeBron for Markelle Fultz. Now there's this cool system to show off your success in MyGM, but how do we go about becoming a winner in the first place? We do that by leveling. The leveling system has been revamped from MyGM 1.0. Back then you would gain experience tied to your username that would then let you upgrade the facilities and purchase persuasive pitches to players. They were OP to put it lightly, so they figured out the parts that gamers loved about leveling, what worked with the previous system, and jumbled it together into a new experience for the gamer. For starters, each save starts from level 1. Some people like the OP 1.0 facilities, some didn't. Now you have the luxury of picking them if you want or don't. But remember, everybody's going to be competing to be the best, so you want to use every advantage you can to get yourself to the top of the boards. You also gain experience by making the team better. The main way that you'll gain experience now is by winning games and completing tasks. But the basic idea is that by completing goals randomly generated throughout each save, you're going to be taking steps that improve your team. Winning also gives experience as team chemistry and player morale are building blocks to a dynasty. Because nobody wins a championship with a squad of unhappy people, right? And each save will end up around level 20. Experience is tuned to try and make it so that you're about level 20 when you finish the portion of the save that score counts for the leaderboards. The goal is to try and make meaningful decisions as you progress, and that your own managerial style can come through strongly by the choices you make as you level up. What kind of choices? Well, with this brand new skill tree that is being implemented. MyGM 2.0 features a brand new skill tree. You can select your GM and style to start with at level 1, then move along any of the starting 5 trees or to an adjacent skill. And the 5 trees are leadership, a man of the locker room. A leadership focused GM is better able to build the trust of those around them, gain boosts for playing games, and lower trust loss in press conferences. Diplomacy, a way with words. A diplomatic GM can build trust by having chit chats with several different groups, can help improve revenue and help sign more big name free agents. Insight, a deep sense of understanding. An insightful GM can understand what affects the mood and trust of those around them, access to trade finder or improve scouting. There's finance, an eye for the bottom line. A financial GM can improve revenue, sign players for less, and gain additional sponsorship slots. And facilities, a man with a plan. A facility-oriented GM can choose from a specialty facility for a permanent boost to one of 5 areas. Can help boost players on game day or turn high attendance into improved relationships with sponsors. At the end of the day, the goal is still to win a title, but there are different ways to cut an onion, you know? And all of this I feel will offer great replayability. And different teams require different ways to go about putting the best squad together as well, so this should be fun. You'll also gain passive benefits from each level. As your experience grows, you'll gain more AP per day and the ability to bank AP from day to day. Once a month, you'll be able to reset the skill tree, so be bold. The skills were designed so that most of them will try and change the way that you play. To make financials more important, to give extra ways to save or spend AP, and to allow more chances to boost relationship values. Now, speaking of relationships, one of 2K's goals with MyGM 2.0 was to make those relationships that you take the time to grow matter way more. In addition to an overhaul of the morale and team chemistry systems across all MyLeague modes, users are able to have relationships now with all their players, the team staff, the governor, and even opposing GMs. Now that's cool. In real life, it's obvious certain GMs are more buddy-buddy with each other. On the other hand, it's obvious everybody hates Danny Ainge, so I'm glad they put that in there. And there's perks, of course, for having these close relationships. For example, the head coach will let you in on his in-game strategy for the game if your relationship with him is high enough. So you'll be able to just go into the coach gameplay menu and see all the good stuff because you guys are buddies like that. So now there will be added payoff to the seemingly boring part about talking to people. Now the biggest way to improve relationships is with the revamped goals and tasks. In MyGM 1.0, only the team governor could give you tasks. Now anybody involved in the organization will be able to, like what a real life GM will face. Some tasks might not help the team much, but you will build a better relationship with that player or team staff member. And some will only improve the squad, so you'll have to have an eye for how to approach each task. They don't expect us to complete every task, as every GM worth his salt knows how to navigate the relationships when things don't go how you plan. Pick the right style of GM and it won't be as bad if you fail. Pick the wrong one and things could snowball. I'm really liking this part because it's true. Bad GMs are given multiple ways to expose themselves for being, well, bad GMs. And it looks like we will have to prove ourselves as well, and not luck into good scores and perfect relationships with everybody. One of the things 2K has set out to do this year is making MyGM more friendly to the beginner, introducing the score and experience stuff, showing them if they do this, you get points here, etc., etc. In addition, on the overview screen, there will be an assistant GM panel to give recommendations on what to do, so players getting their feet wet won't feel as overwhelmed. But also with the leaderboards, have something for the vets to separate themselves from the pack. There are also a bunch of other stuff added to MyLeague this year, like staff cards. There have been player cards and team cards for years. Team cards can still be improved if you ask me. Now there will be staff cards as well. They will have the stuff you expect to be included, but now will be in one location. There's revised morale and team chemistry. They have tweaked the morale and team chemistry formulas to make them a bit more dynamic. Now they continue to trend towards an equilibrium point every day, and the makeup of your team matters. Having greatly different work ethics will lower the equilibrium for your team, so putting together a winner should be a little bit more difficult, but more rewarding for those who are able to handle the system well. Yo man, I like this! Also, we will be introduced to new personality badges for max players to help handle the superstars who are up for max contracts from basically anybody in the league. So we could possibly get a KD and Kyrie in Brooklyn or Kawhi and PG in LA. I know George was traded. And the new personality badges are Media Ringmaster. This player thrives in front of the cameras and prefers to play in big markets. Pretty straightforward. You should expect players with this badge to be more likely to sign to a big market team. So basically like a Jimmy Butler. There's Warm Weather Fan. These are for the beach goers that would rather play in warm, temperate climates and avoid the really cold home team. Actually, this is Jimmy Butler. And Finance Savvy. These are players that factor in the tax rate and where they want to go in the hopes of really making the most out of their money. Of course, not all players have these badges, and these badges don't necessarily mean that a max player would take a $10 million discount to play somewhere they really like. It's more of a tiebreaker to help make sure that the player movement feels a little bit more authentic. Also, my favorite, history and records. The player model or portraits when viewing the team history page will now be visible. It's a rather small change, but they thought it would be cool. There's also improved player DNA. They've added a lot more functionality to player DNA to try and make it easier to find players you want for your draft classes. Overview of revisions and new features are tabs that display all downloads, new hot downloads and previously downloaded items, a button to filter out just the things you've created, columns that show the date created, date modified, overall, and age, the ability to sort based on columns, and more upload slots for player DNA creations. Also, you'll be able to use LT and RT to quickly scroll through menus. Whenever you're adjusting sliders or numbers in pretty much any franchise menu, you can hold LT or RT to make scrolling go that much faster. And there will be an option to force winners. Now when simming games in MyLeague, you can give anybody you feel like to win, to possibly create that elusive 82-0 team you always dreamed of. After combing over the blog, I like what they have in store for us. Like I said, there seems to be a huge effort to appeal to the casual gamer and not have them feel lost, while giving the vets a bunch of ways to have a fulfilling MyGM experience, and the addition of the leaderboard is a cool touch as well. But what do you guys think? What was the thing that has you excited about 2K20 MyLeague 2.0 the most? Let me know in the comments down below. And stay tuned here at Sports Gamers Online for more NBA 2K20 news. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And once you're with us, hit that bell icon at the bottom so you don't miss anything we put out. I'm Chris. Thank y'all for watching, and be good, y'all.